Yep. Still noodling on that Intel stuff?
Look, I wish them the best, he says, waving to the Titanic as it leaves Europe on its fateful voyage. But I don't feel good about it. And I feel since the discussion we had yesterday, I think it was Bloomberg first, and the New York Times confirmed this basically over the weekend. They were like, "Look, you can get fired, or you can retire."
Right.
So he retired, Pat Gelsinger, and it's still a little loose on the full point of it. That I guess it's the turnaround's not happening quickly enough or something. Like there was nothing about specific
Mm-hmm.
partner customers, whatever, leaving or anything like that. But I I my gut kind of tells me they're going to split this Foundry thing off,
It has to be
right?
something that we'll learn here in the near future, that there was a tough decision to be made, something like that, sell to Qualcomm, whatever that decision was. He was against it, the board was for it, and
Yeah, yeah, something like that. And Intel as a large opportunity going forward. The Foundry to me is the better bet, even though I know it's not going great. Um, the part that makes x86 chips, I mean, big fish, small pond, right?
mm-hmm.
Like, and I think kind of shrinking, So and I don't know how fast they can recover from. I'm going to call it a debacle of the previous, like the first two gens of Core Ultra are just, I mean, a back to back smack in the face. Like they've lost some ground here. And this is, look, if you care about x86 and this is your thing and you can't, like, I'm never using ARM for whatever reason, look at the AMD stuff. It's unbelievable. I
Yep.
think I said this yesterday. No, well, I did this yesterday. I'm updating the book. So one of the chapters I'm updating is the game bar one. So naturally, I had to play like 2 hours of Call of Duty, because it's like an extra.
Of course,
It's,
research, obviously.
it's basic science, Brad. And it's a ThinkPad T14S, just integrated graphics, AMD, awesome. Like it's awesome. And I'm sorry, but the stuff just works. It works great. Like it's this is the way to go. And they also have that battery life thing. I don't know what it is on the T14 yet. I just got it, but the Omnibook I reviewed recently, Ultra X, whatever the hell it was,
Mm-hmm.
does Zen 5 based, 9 hours ish. Like good, like really good. So if that's your thing, if you're like ARM is a bridge too far, got
Yeah.
my foot stuck here in the past a little bit. Go look at AMD. It's that stuff
Yep.
to me is incredible.
Intel actually just released or announced today, I should say, their new GPUs, Battle Mage, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
and weren't you convinced they were never going to do this?
yeah. Well, the
I
thing
thought this
is
was.
like they are very well. They have to. Let's put it this way: they have to be. They are stupidly well priced. So if you,
Okay.
there's a lot of caveats to this, but if you are a 1440p gamer, their like top end card that they announced is $279, which for a GPU is
Yeah.
a bargain.
So what are we talking? We're talking about an add-in card for desktop PC,
Yep. It's
dedicated graphics, dedicated RAM.
yep.
It's got to be. Is it the same architecture as the Arc stuff,
I
basically, or is it
it
completely different?
I don't know all the details. I do know because I get real tied up on VRAM these days because a lot of like LLM stuff is linked to how
Yeah.
much VRAM do you have. And so
Yeah.
it does have, I think, 12 gigs, which is better than the 4060 from NVIDIA, which only has 8. And it has a.
Except Nvidia is 100% fully supported everywhere in
Right.
every single game ever made.
If you
And
can just look past that
if you could
really
look past, look, if you could
big
look
caveat.
past compatibility, you wouldn't be looking at Intel. Like this is the problem.
Right.
If you want things like VSync or whatever the very the upscaling stuff that's done in hardware, blah blah blah, whatever. AMD or Radeon, and Nvidia, they've got this locked up.
Right.
And if you look past that part of the market, yeah, I mean, I guess one day we'll have Copilot Plus capabilities in GPUs. We'll have there are already many
Mm-hmm.
AI features in different apps. there are scientific engineering, blah, 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 whatever capabilities. We're talking about a small market here, dude. Like, this is not.
Well, here's another example. Perfect example. I would like this box that we are recording this on right now
Mhm.
has an NVIDIA Quadro or whatever
Mhm.
thing. I think you sent me this PC.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, it's like a workstation class graphics card. It's not really for games, right?
right,
But
right, right. So like let's
probably
say I
pretty
wanted
good.
to replace this one. I would
Mhm.
genuinely have to go look up the compatibility of OBS and that
That's right.
GPU
Yep.
because this is critical and like
And
and
who the hell does that? No,
it
like
should
seriously.
work. Like
The last time I had to worry about that, that's not even a concern with ARM, really. I mean, it is. If you were doing this every day on OBS and whatever you're using, yes, you would have to look that up. But I mean, the last time I personally had to actually think about like what I would call a hardware compatibility list, being an old guy, because that's what we used to call them, was like NT. You know, I tell this story, but like I would print like one time I had to buy a network card. So you printed out the HCL for that part of it, which was only a couple pages. And then I walked to Best Buy and I looked until I found one that was on the list and I bought that. You know what I mean? Like that's how you did things. Like doing that now for like such a mainstream use case, it doesn't
mhm.
feel right, man. That just doesn't. That this is tied to your problem with Adobe Premiere Elements, which by the way is in the store. I mentioned this last week. I saw it in Winget. I found it in the store yesterday, so I don't know if that happened in the interim or what, but it's there. No pricing, by the way. It doesn't tell you the price. You get it, you download it, you install it, you sign in, and then you learn. You know, so that precludes sales and all kinds of other problems. Anyway, but yeah, I had this problem. We'd already talked about this too, but um, this is a mainstream app. Like
Yep.
it should. The point of Windows is to virtualize the hardware. It should work with whatever you have, but we all know that's not the case, and not with these apps. So I'm.
Well,
I think
works
this is
and is performant are two very different things.
when I say works, I mean works
You know, hardware
properly.
accelerated
Like
and all that stuff. Yep, yep, yep.
yeah, actually works. Like, but anyway, yep. So I don't mean to rush to judgment on this, but I feel like this thing is stillborn, and I got to tell you, I don't know which is worse: releasing Battle Mage, I think that's the name, right,
Mhm.
and failing, which they will, or the day after they fire the CEO, they're like, "Hey, by the way, remember this stupid thing we were working on? We're not doing this anymore. As part of our cost cutting and product simplification strategy, we don't need to be in this market." I, I feel like
I
they
don't.
want it
I think it
for.
was too late to cancel it. I mean, the fact that they announced it the day after he was cut means that this stuff is like there,
Yeah, it's
and they're
we
probably
don't
just
really.
hoping like maybe we can break even, and then we'll be
It could be a part of a bigger play. I mean, maybe this is the architecture of this thing, whatever it is something that they're going to use or are using in data center based chips for
maybe.
GPUs for AI and all that stuff. Maybe. I mean, but who would like who? God, you're like you care enough about this stuff that you're going to buy a dedicated graphics card for a desktop computer. We're winnowing down the user base here,
Hmm.
and you're going to go with a new unproven Intel product in 2024. I don't. That doesn't seem like a winner to me. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's a tough sell for Intel. I full agree. Compatibility will be everything. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah. Yep. I think we're saying the same thing here.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what
Oh yeah, we are.
compatibility slash it works. You know, what we really mean is not just that it fires up and displays your operating system. Like it literally like works. And I don't like. Listen, I don't pay attention to this too much, but even I see some games coming out like that Chernobyl game, right? um, NVIDIA and or AMD will release new drivers that specifically address
That's
that
exact. I
title.
was gonna say Indiana Jones launches next week.
Yep.
Do you think?
And you know,
Yeah.
yep.
Like
So is Intel, do they have the resources and the wherewithal to, whew, and did that thing ship on day one with literally everything it needed out in the market to, come on, we're talking, this is impossible. I don't know. It seems like a mistake. You okay there, man?
yep. Well, we'll see. I mean, I hope the best for them. I hope that it works out.
I
I
do
hope they
too.
sell a billion of them and it turns the company around and Pat's sitting in his cabana club down in Puerto Rico or wherever
Listen, he
Caribbean
deserves
islands.
it. He look. Guy's a lifer. I mean, I know he went to VMware in the middle, but let's just forget that for a second. He came back and he tried, and I think it might have been too late, but I don't know. But they've had those reliability issues with their chips.
Hmm.
They've had, massive problems with the Core Ultra shift. I don't even know where to start on that one. So what they do in January, but really next year and then going forward is going to be very important. They need to kind of right the ship, and just from a product quality perspective.
You know who should merge? Unlikely bedfellows, but it'd be great.
Uh-huh.
Intel and Boeing. Like, they just feel made for each other. Right.
Just when you get on the plane, it says powered by Intel, and you're like,
Just sign your will right
you're like,
there.
I don't. Is there a way? Can I just walk backwards up this ramp, or how do I get out of this? Intel inside. It's gross.
Aren't they? They're close to each other. I mean,
They're close to each
on
other.
the same coast, right?
Yeah. Also thematically close to each other. Has Intel killed anybody yet?
I'm sure. Jesus.